Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this program, our moments with God, our moments with the Word of God, our moments with the love, mercy, compassion, and forgiveness of God, our moments with the holy ones of God, the saints of God, and not to forget to turn our attention also to our inner self, where the spiritual journey takes place and where one can discover God's love, God's existence, God's care for you and for this beautiful nature that is around us that God has gifted us with, and which recently we celebrated the 10th anniversary of Laudato Si, about our home, the universe. And if you like, you may please also share the video with others and also subscribe to the channel. As I have been saying last few days, that the sharing has become little less, and also subscriptions. So you may please help out in the proclamation of the word by sharing the video and also by subscribing to the channel. Thank you. Like yesterday, today again the gospel begins with what the gospel ended yesterday with, and where Jesus had said, in the context of his going up into heaven, the ascension, he had said, you will see me a little while and then you will see me no longer. And in the end, he had said, when the world rejoices, you will be in grief, but your grief will turn into joy. And today the gospel begins with the same sentence, and Jesus explains it further by giving the example of a woman who has a lot of pain when she bears a child, but as soon as the child comes into the world, the woman forgets all her pain because a child has been brought into the world. So there is the talk of grief, and then your grief will turn into joy. But it is just about 6 weeks ago that we had the Holy Week, and we had, of course, the whole Lenten season, where we constantly spoke about uh, sorrow, about the troubles, about pain, about suffering, the Good Friday, remember? And then we had the resurrection of Jesus. So while we were talking about the crucifixion, pain, there came the joy of the resurrection. Now 6 weeks later, the readings, and Jesus is speaking again about your you will be sad and sorrowful, but your grief will turn into joy because I am coming back to you. So again there is a talk about grief, and grief turning into joy, much like what we had 6 weeks ago during the Holy Week. So actually, come to think of it, what these incidents tell us is that that is what is life about. Life is about joys and sorrows. Life is not always joyful, nor is life always sorrowful. That is one aspect of it. If you have sorrow, certainly there will be also joy. It is like the cycle of nature. Now it is day, soon it will be evening or dark, but the whole night passes and then there is a new day. A new day, the sun rises and makes everything bright, and again people can see things differently, and if they are feeling cold in the night, the sun brings a little bit of warmth. That is the cycle of nature, and that is also cycle of life. But what Jesus is trying to say is that if you remain in Him and you remain in His love, not that sorrows will not come, not that troubles will not come, but your trouble, your sorrows will turn into joy, or you will be able to see those sorrows and joys from the eyes of God and from God's perspective. Because remember, God did not spare His own Son, Jesus Christ. He went through all that. But today He is able to say that your grief will turn into joy because I am coming back to you. That is what Jesus is doing, and that is what Jesus wants to do with all of us. And I am sure that as we long for this kind of joy, let our faith be anchored in the person of Jesus. And as Jesus says today in the gospel, that joy nobody can take away from you. That is it. That joy is lasting joy, which comes from Jesus. If you just look at the cycle of nature and the cycle of day and night and the cycle of joy and sorrow, then of course it will be just a cycle. But if it is anchored into Jesus and our faith firmly established in Him, then even what externally is sorrowful will remain joyful. And my dear friends, if you like, you may please subscribe to this channel and share the video with others. Thank you.